turning our attention to a very important conversation. You know, it's quite interesting that you find them in the markets, you find them strong in the homes, worship centers. But when it's time to talk about issues that really matter, a lot of times they're missing, or at least what matters to them are not really talked about. I'm talking about women. And today we're turning our attention to maternal health in particular. It's Black History Month, yes. It's going to be Valentine's in a few days' time. And all of a sudden people realize how much love we have for our mothers and our women. But no, we need to show that every single day. And this morning we're talking about something that is not usually talked about, and that is maternal health, particularly for mothers, Black mothers, African mothers, as the case may be. We have joining us on the program Christina Brown, who's the founder of the Motivational Moms Club. Good morning, Christina. Welcome to the Morning Brief.
Good morning.
What birthed this movement for you? Maybe a short story as to why you're doing this, because for a lot of people, they're like, well, we don't really talk about these things. We just move on. You have to be fine. You have responsibilities to take care of. So just suck it up and move on. But what birthed this for you?
No, absolutely. What birthed the Motivational Moms Club is that I've got two very beautiful children. I birthed them in the UK, and I was a very career-driven Black woman in the investment banking industry. And what happened was, because I had my children too close together, I decided to resign from my career and really focus on being at home with my children and my family. And I very quickly realized that a lot of Black women felt isolated, didn't feel seen, and there was a lot of trauma from their birthing experience. And I really wanted to dive into why. Why are we not talking about this? Why is this not being mainstreamed? And to really shine a light on such an important topic that affects from when a woman gets pregnant, all the way to her birthing experience, to when she actually has her child in her hands. And it's something that we don't talk about often.
Interesting. So what have you found out? It's said that women sacrifice a lot, and you see some men saying, we also sacrifice a lot.
Yes.
But what are the peculiarities for women particularly that looks like people don't quite understand? And it's important to represent these voices, and that's why we're having this conversation.
Yes, absolutely. So in the UK, when I was going into my research and really trying to understand why we're not talking about it, I quickly realised that Black mums in the UK are 4 times more likely to die during childbirth. And this is for many reasons. And I really wanted to tackle that and to really work alongside the healthcare professionals to reduce those disparities. Despite the fact in the UK, Black mums only account for 5% of deliveries in hospital. Now, when I do raise awareness on all of this, I always do say the UK is the safest place, one of the safest places to give birth. However, where I come in is to challenge that statistic, to really understand why are we as a Black community, Black mothers, are at a higher risk of dying during childbirth. And that's where I come in to really challenge that, and also to help Black mums advocate for themselves and to feel safe and seen without any consequences of them feeling unsafe.
And I really hope that this is yielding fruits, because it's a tall order. It's like swimming against the tide, fighting the system, a system that has been like that for years. It's really big. But you just realize that we have a lot of health professionals in the UK that are Black. We just talked about the Japa situation here in Nigeria. You have a lot of people moving there, being a part of that system. So it's sort of an irony that system that is made up of people who are of African descent is not really doing quite well for the same people of African descent. It's sort of a contradiction and irony of sorts. But I'd like you to also speak about how well this is catching on, how much of a fight you're putting up, and how the system is fighting back, if it is fighting back.
Yes, the system is fighting back, and there is a lot of work that still needs to be done. However, there is an improvement with the stats. It is reducing, and what we're seeing is that when they work with community leaders like myself, who are on the ground and have that great relationship with Black mothers because of my work, every week I am in the community delivering weekly peer support groups for Black moms with a midwife on site for them to learn about our culture, to listen about the birthing stories, the good ones and the bad ones, but then also for them to gain cultural intelligence about a community that never felt safe, a community that is the highest to die during childbirth, but then yet also the highest to not gain access nor want access for their mental health because of the trauma that they've been through. So that's where we do see an improvement, because they're working with us in collaboration, the likes of myself. There's so many where we are making a difference. We are on the ground and we are holding the healthcare sector accountable for these stats to ensure birthing experience is fair and great for everyone, despite your religion, despite your skin color.
So I wanted to find out from you, are you suspicious of anything systemic? And what are the stories you're hearing practically that we could take home as far as what you're doing is concerned?
Yeah, so you rightly said it in regards to systemic, and there is systemic racism, and it is embedded even in the textbooks. When we talk about when someone is hemorrhaging, we don't talk about, nor do they even are educated about how does that look like on Black skin. We don't go red, we don't go pale. So how do you spot these very, very important life-changing events when it comes to a Black mum to reduce all of those things? So yes, you are rightly correct in terms of systemic racism. And that's where I also come in to provide that training to really challenge that and to wipe that all out from textbooks, and to really look at other symptoms that Black mums can demonstrate to show that they are potentially at risk of an unfortunate event during this process that should be a beautiful one for her and her family and whoever is witnessing this. So we are tackling that systemic racism, and also, most importantly, giving those mums that opportunity to really advocate for themselves as well. Because a lot of the time in the UK, we don't want to talk because we don't want to be deemed as that angry Black woman that doesn't know how to control her feelings, or she's not listening. So it's really giving the Black mums the tools to really get their point across, to be listened and heard, but most importantly, included in her care.
Not even talked about postpartum depression and all of those other things. But Christina, we have to thank you so much for spotlighting these issues. These are uncharted territories, and wish you the very best. We're speaking with Christina Brown, founder of the Motivational Moms Club. Thank you for motivating moms, and all the best.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break now. When we return, we'll tell you the story of a man who climbed to greatness, climbing the highest point in Nigeria. He's right here with us in our studio, so stay with us. We'll be right back.